Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Friday evening edition. This is Gashi Skyman. William Samoei Ruto said that he is not going anywhere. William Samoei Ruto responded to the Gen Z's demand, who have been saying that Ruto must go. And he posed a rhetorical question: how can I go? Though we are not expected to answer a rhetorical question, this one we are going to answer. Before we answer William Samoei Ruto, I want you to watch briefly what William Samoei Ruto said as far as Ruto must go clarion call is concerned.
Tell me how you want me to go. How, what you know, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. What do you mean? What do you mean by Ruto must go? How do I go? Because we have a constitution in place, dear people, right? Yes. If you want Ruto to go, please, my simple advice to you, look for a better plan. Convince the people of Kenya that you have a better plan. This one of mine has created 250,000 jobs in the housing sector. Look for one that creates 500,000. This one of mine, I have brought down the cost of unga from 240 to 160. Look for one that brings it to 50. Violence will not. Anarchy will not. It will not sort out our country.
How would you respond to William Samoei Ruto after watching him saying whatever he's saying? If I were to respond to him, I would tell him the following. I would refer to him to the Constitution. I would refer him to the Constitution and remind the President that he has donated powers. He has delegated powers, that all power belongs to the people, and he's only exercising the powers through delegations. That is the Constitution that states very clearly in the preamble, and there are no two ways about it. So if Kenyans decide to recall their powers, what would stop them from doing that? So William Samoei Ruto cannot say that there's no way he can actually go, because he's asking, how am I supposed to go? Number two, for the sake of national interests, if you remember Saitoti's words, a time comes when the national interests are more important than the interests of the individual. William Samoei Ruto is interested in completing his first term, and he's sure that he's not going to complete his second term. But he can decide to resign. Resign for the sake of this nation. And if resign, he should also resign with Kithure Kindiki. And if both of them resigns, Wetangula will take over for 90 days, then the country will go for elections. That is an easy way of actually answering William Samoei Ruto. So the Constitution is not blind. There are no gaps. There are no lacuna as far as the Constitution is concerned when it comes to delegated powers. Number three, William Samoei Ruto can maneuver and talk to the leader of the majority, convince some politicians to take an impeachment motion and impeach himself. Yes, he can impeach himself. And he can decide to be fighting. And in the final analysis, the motion would be taken to Parliament. And then if it goes through with the 2/3 majority, it will be taken to the Senate. He would then talk to the senators and then tell them to impeach him. This way, he would go home. So there's a way that the Constitution has provided. So if William Samoei Ruto only need to remember that there are no vacuums as far as the Constitution is concerned. William Samoei Ruto can also decide to form a transitional government, whereby he would call the opposition, he would call the people who are actually interested in this nation. He would call the businessmen. He would call the youth. Form a government of national unity. Go all the way to 2027. Then have a peaceful general elections whereby William Samoei Ruto is not going to contest. That way, he would come out as a true nationalist. That way, he would come out as somebody who loved his country. That way, he would come out as somebody who saved the country. But when you look at how things are going, you agree with me that William Samoei Ruto is not willing, is not ready to leave office. The last but not least, this one is called the devil's option. He can use the devil's option, run away, go to exile, and never come back. That way, Kenyans would go to court and they would actually say that there is no president in the country. Or, because you see, what I know is that many leaders fear leaving the office because of the consequences. But if you are somebody like Mwai Kibaki, you don't even hurt a housefly. Najua Kibaki hakuudhi hata nzi sebuse mwanadamu. So I think if there's nothing to fear, you move on, because sometimes it is important to bite the bullet and move on. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take this Friday. I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, William Samoei Ruto hawezi kwenda, hawezi kung'atuka kama alivyofanya Mwalimu Julius Nyerere wa kule Tanzania, na Mungu azidi kuilaza roho yake mahali pema peponi. Alamsiki.